Welcome back everyone to Mona's Take. I am your host Mona Rose and we are here to talk about everything reality TV. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything I have coming up. Today's video is part 2 of the overnight feeds for day 21. A lot going on. If you can see, I had to bring out my shirt because that's exactly how I'm feeling right now, is bitch please. With a lot of these guests, house guests. Yeah, anyway, stay tuned. People are acting on a whole nother level on that. So yeah, we just see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You gotta give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Alright, let's get right into it. So, Jasmine and Turner are talking up in the HOH room, and she is really fishing for some information that she thinks, because she's his bestie, and he's so clueless about everything that's going on in the house. He doesn't know who she's aligned with. So she's up there fishing for information, thinking that he's going to fill her in on what's going on. Turner tells Jasmine that Amira hasn't even talked to him for not even 5 minutes. They didn't talk game at all before. They had the little storage room thing where he asked her a question and she said, "We don't talk game," and walked out. And he's talked to her for a total of 5 minutes during this HOH week. So he's saying, she's not doing herself any favors. She's just not talking to me. Jasmine asked about Indy, and Turner said that he doesn't talk to Indy, but that he was never targeting Indy. He doesn't know where that rumor started, but he had never in his mind been one to target Indy. So we don't talk a lot, but she was never someone who I would have thought about putting on the block. He tells Jasmine that he's going to let the house decide, but that there's a smart choice and there's a not so smart choice, and people can figure out what that is. That he's not campaigning one way or the other. That right there tells Jasmine he's after Amira. I'm sorry, it tells anybody he's after Amira. And that's what he's been saying when people ask. He doesn't give that information freely. But if somebody asks him directly, he says, there's a smart choice, there's a not so smart choice. He's also said one of these people can win the game with one hand tied behind their back and the other can't. So he's planting that seed. She asked him what he thought of Daniel. They all got this speculation going now that Daniel and Turner are tight and that they're working together and that Daniel knew everything that was going on. He can't be trusted. So she asked Turner what he thought about Daniel. And he says, Daniel's a cool guy. It's like, I don't really talk game to him or with him, but he's a cool guy. She also tells him that her and Amira aren't close, that they're friends, but that they don't talk games. That's what she said. And she says, I have no reason to lie to you, Turner, about any of this. I'm being 100 with you. Right. Turner tells Jasmine that he wouldn't be surprised if Mira wasn't behind the whole pooch photo. That she's the one that flipped the house. And Jasmine said, well, if she is, that's messed up because I didn't know about it. And I was the HOH, and everybody knew the plan was to get Taylor out. So I don't understand how that happened. That's really messed up if Amira did that. Nicole and Amira are talking, and they're saying that Monty and Kyle are going to have to show their cards this week. That they're going to vote to keep Amira, and that's going to show who is aligned with who. They laugh and cut up about Turner not having a clue that Ameerah is so tight with everybody in the house that nobody would vote her out. I think they're going to have a rude awakening comes Thursday night, and I'm here for it. I think, I've said yesterday, I think tonight's episode and Thursday night's episode are going to be the most anticipated episodes since Big Brother started, and we're 21 days in. Nicole says that the house is going to flip out if Ameerah gets voted out. Ameerah said if she goes home that she's going to out the Pose Pack Alliance. Yeah. She's basically going to out everybody's game and blow everybody's game up. Taylor and Nicole talk. Well, I say talk. Nicole interrogated Taylor. But Taylor did a very good job this time. She was not completely honest like she's been since day one. And I think that's one of her problems is when someone asks her something, she's completely honest. And so she did a good job against Nicole, holding her own and keeping Nicole in the dark. Taylor told her that she's voting Terrence out, that she's voting for Ameerah to stay, which we know with the leftovers that's not happening. They're all voting her out. And oh my God, she tells her that, oh, I would never talk behind your back. I don't talk behind your back. She tries to make it out like it's a personality conflict between her and Daniel and Taylor. It's not a personality conflict. It's the fact that Daniel and Nicole are idiots. So Taylor's really playing the game right now, and I'm loving it. I'm here for every minute of it. Ameerah gets Kyle by herself in the storage room, and she's like, why did you tell them about my Google job? He's like, what are you talking about? I didn't tell anybody. And she's like, Kyle, you are the only one I told. Evidently, she's landed a job with Google, and it's a pretty good job. Pays like, I think she said $250,000 a year. And so she's saying that Kyle's the only one that he told. And he's like, are you sure you didn't tell Alyssa? She's like, no, I didn't tell anybody but you. And he's like, I swear, I didn't tell anybody. And he's laughing. Kyle's a horrible liar. And she says, well, if you didn't tell anybody, why are you laughing? And he's like, because this is just crazy. He's like, I didn't tell anybody. Are you sure you didn't tell anybody else? And he said, who told you that? And she said, I can't say right now. He's like, well, man, really? And so he plays it off, and he changes the subject real quick and starts talking about the fact that Turner, that it's just like when Turner was in the backyard talking about Teslas. And then he messed up and said he had a Tesla. And then he said he didn't have it anymore, that he sold it, yada, yada, yada. So he like totally flips that conversation around. He switches it then, the conversation, to his relationship with Alyssa. And Ameerah's all in for that. She wants them to have a showman so bad they can't stand it. And he tells her about the conversation with Alyssa and that nothing's going to happen in the house, that they may date afterwards or in the jury house or at home or whatever, but that nothing's going to happen in the house. And she's jumping for joy, and she's so happy about the fact that they're finally going to get together. Well, he does a very good job of deflecting that he screwed up. Then we have Jasmine. She comes in, and they're talking about how hard it is to be nice to Taylor. It's like, it's excruciating. I have to sleep next to her every night, and I have to talk to her, and I have to be nice to her. It is what it is. She's in the game. And somebody said week one, if we didn't get her out, that she was going to be here till the end. And so, of course, Ameerah and Jasmine spend 30 minutes bashing Taylor again. Although Ameerah keeps saying, I don't talk about Taylor. I don't bully Taylor. I don't make Taylor feel like an outcast. Yeah, right. Amira tells them that Daniel is Turner's right-hand man. The girls have it in their head, and that's not something they're getting rid of, that Daniel is working with Turner. Daniel can't be trusted. They're not going to talk around him anymore. And therefore, they can't trust Nicole because Nicole tells Daniel everything. So right now, let's get a tally on who the girls don't trust. They don't trust Brittany. They don't trust Indy. They don't trust Daniel. They don't trust Nicole. They don't trust Turner. Who am I leaving out? They don't trust Brittany. There's like 6 people in the house now that they don't trust, that they won't talk to. All because of Amira going on the block. So imagine what's going to happen Thursday night when she gets voted out. The house is going to be crazy. I'm going to have another night or another week of no sleep. But we'll get it done. And I'm here for it. I love it. I can watch these feeds all day, all night. I don't get tired of it. They talk about Daniel and Nicole being emotional players. And they blow up too easy and they get mad too easy. Just like the deal with Taylor. Just like the deal with Alyssa. That they just blow up and they need to calm down. That they're too emotional when it comes to the game. Amira, Brittany, Alyssa, and Jasmine are talking. And Amira's like, I'm staying. I'm not going nowhere. I've got the votes. He doesn't know that. And I'm going to win HOH Thursday night. And I'm putting his butt on the block. Jasmine's going to be safe because nobody's going to vote out Jazzy. So he's going home. Now, the whole time Brittany's in there in this conversation. So Brittany immediately goes and finds Michael and fills Michael in on the conversation. And I think the leftovers are doing a good job because they're not seen together. 1 or 2 of them may be together, or 3 of them at a time. But they're never all in the same place. So if Brittany hears something, she tells Michael. Michael takes it back to Turner or Kyle or Monty. Vice versa, if Kyle or Monty hears something, they tell somebody else and take it back to Turner. So they're doing a really good job right now staying under the radar. The only person that is catching on to something, that there's something amiss, is Nicole. Kyle tells Michael that if he wins HOH, he's putting up Alyssa and Indy. And Michael said, well, what if Alyssa goes home? He said, then Alyssa goes home. It's like, I don't care. One of them's going home. So, and he tells Michael he should do the same. All right. The members of the Popax Alliance that are also in the Leftovers Alliance, which are Monty, Kyle, and Michael. They know Amira, and they said that if Amira gets voted out Thursday night, that she is going to lose it. She's going to be outing any alliances that she's in. She's going to be blowing up games. So they say, we need to start telling people in the Leftovers Alliance about that alliance and tell them that it's not real. That's not who we're loyal to, but that it was a thing at one time. Just so if Amira does try to blow up their games come Thursday night, the rest of the alliance already knows she's not doing any damage at all. Nicole and Daniel were talking in the bedroom, and I saw on Twitter that the feeds weren't supposed to be on them as long as they were, but whoever was the button boy that was supposed to be switching the feeds had went to get a snack. So we got to see a really long conversation between Daniel and Nicole, which we normally don't. They start trashing Taylor. They start talking about what happened. Any of that stuff, the feed's cut off of them because Grosvenor does not want Nicole being shown in a bad light. But evidently Button Boy was busy and wasn't paying attention. So that was a good thing for us. Nicole and Daniel talk, and Nicole tells Daniel that she doesn't think that he did anything wrong. And that she hates the way Taylor's talking to him and saying that people on the outside are going to be mean to him when he gets out and they're not going to like it. And she doesn't like that at all. Daniel says, I would feel this way if it was any race. It doesn't have anything to do with black or white, because that's the one thing Taylor told him, is it's not good optics for a white man to be yelling at a black woman. So they're not going to be very nice to you when you get out on the outside. So Nicole said that's BS. She doesn't like that. And Daniel says, well, I would do this if it was any race. Race doesn't have anything to do with it. It's strictly her personality. And Nicole said the issue is not that she's black. It's that she's an effing bully. Really? Taylor's the bully now. Wow. I really hope when these people get out of this house that they go back. Well, I would say go back and watch the show, but none of this is going to be on the show. It's on the live feeds. But I'm sure Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that, they're going to go and they're going to see all of these negative things about them because of what they did in the house. And they're dramatic in form. Those two, I swear to God, they're like children. They are dramatic in form, and they're Nicole's acting like she's crying and hiding her face under the sheet. And this is so hard. I literally have to choose between my number 2 and my number 3. I literally have to say goodbye to Terrence tomorrow, and I don't know if I can do this. And, you know, Daniel's the same way. Oh my God, this is so hard. This game is just so hard. I'm like, somebody slap him. It was bad. It was bad. Nicole, like I said, Nicole's fake crying. Daniel said he's talking to everyone tomorrow. He doesn't care anymore. So I don't know what that meant, but they're saying that if either one of them get HOH, that they're putting Turner and Jasmine on the block so that Turner can get voted out, because nobody's going to vote out Jasmine. Which they're playing right into the leftovers' hand. That's what they want. They want to cause so much dysfunction among that other group that they start turning on themselves. Now, they think that they're putting Turner up and Turner's going home. But if Turner goes up, he's got the numbers to stay, and Jasmine will go home. Since Jasmine is one of Grodner's favorite people in the game, her and Nicole, I see them doing something to help her out so that she doesn't go home. I don't think that in that scenario that she would go home, because I think that Big Brother would do something, another twist or something going on to make that not happen. But we'll see. Daniel says, he's talking about Taylor, and he says, if it happens again, and it will if she stays long enough, I'm going to the furthest room in the house, and I'm not talking to anyone until somebody other than me takes care of it. Not quite sure what he meant about if it happens again, because Taylor hasn't done anything. They have taken what she said out of context. Just like everybody making a deal about her wearing, showing off her finale dress. Like Terrence said, everybody in here's got a finale outfit. He's like, my shirt's hanging right in the closet. He's like, that's ridiculous. These people are just that petty. Amir comes in and joins the conversation with Daniel and Nicole. And I swear delusion has set in that house. These are the most delusional people I've ever seen in my life. Hamira says that the only person that's been bullying Taylor is Indy. Self-awareness in this house is a miss. Indy, the only issue that Indy has had with Taylor is when Taylor said something about the slop soup, that it wasn't that bad. She's had no other issues with Taylor. And she doesn't sit around and Taylor bash like Jasmine, Amir, Nicole, and Alyssa do. She doesn't do that. She said a couple of things when she was mad. But she talked to Taylor, and Taylor explained her side, and she explained her side, and that was it. Now, she did say that she wanted to throw the soup in her face at the time. And she did call her a bitch. She did that to Turner. But she's not, Indy is not sitting around with the girls 24/7. She's off doing her own thing. And they're talking about her just as bad as they're talking about Taylor. So for Amir to say that Indy's the only bully in the house is ridiculous. And Daniel said, that's who needs to be on the block. That's who needs to be going home. If you're so concerned about bullying Turner, then you should have put her up on the block and we could have voted the bully out of the house. Crazy, crazy people. So, that's it for last night. I'm going to get ready for tonight's episode. I don't know. I'm probably going to do another video. Try to do one tonight after Big Brother because I really want to see this episode. I want to see the edit. I want to see what they did. And then I'll report on that, I guess, or talk about that. I'll probably add that into the feeds that I'm watching today. So I'll watch the feeds today. Tonight's show comes on. I'll watch that and then do a video. That should be enough for a little video. So that's about all I have for you guys today or at this point. Let me know in the comments what you think. I am loving all the interaction. I'm having a lot more of that. I appreciate you guys. I don't do this for money. I don't do this for fame. I do this for me because I enjoy Big Brother and it gives me a chance to talk to people about Big Brother. I am not monetized. I don't have enough views yet. So I do this for you guys too who don't have Paramount so that you can get an up-to-date account on what's going on in the house. So let me know what you guys think in the comments and I'll see you in a little bit. Until then, much love.